Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at one of my all-time favorite Macs, the eMac. So without further ado, let's get to it. The eMac was made between 2002 and 2005 and sold mainly to schools. Originally, it retailed for $999, which was a bargain at the time. The model I have here is the late 2005 model with the 1.42 GHz PowerPC G4 CPU. For ports, we've got mini VGA, Ethernet, a 56K modem, 2 FireWire 400 ports, 3 USB 2.0 ports, and a headphone and mic jack. We can get a look at the full specs of the machine under the CD drive door. Aside from the CPU, we've got 256 megabytes of RAM that I've upgraded to 1.5 gigabytes, a 64 megabyte Radeon 9600 GPU that isn't listed here, Apple's CD-DVD combo drive, and an 80 gigabyte hard drive. Mine even came with the original mouse and keyboard, which after a good cleaning actually look pretty nice. Neither are my favorite Apple peripherals. The keyboard keys are pretty stiff and the click is very soft. The optical mouse, on the other hand, though, does a pretty good job of tracking, but it doesn't have a right-click button, which I just don't really understand. It makes using the computer kind of a pain. The display is a 1280 by 960 Sony Trinitron CRT. It's very difficult to video a tube display, but trust me, in person it's one of the best-looking CRTs I've ever seen. Let's kick off our testing with Geekbench. This will test the CPU's performance and give us a number we can compare with other computers. And here we have it, almost 800. This isn't much by today's standards, but as far as PowerPC G4s go, it's actually pretty impressive. Now let's move on to testing the GPU. The score we get here in OpenMark is 4147, which is pretty standard for a Mac of this era. But the cooling system in this eMac is notoriously overbuilt, so we can overclock it a good bit with a program called Ati Accelerator. I've bumped the clock speeds from 324 MHz to 500 MHz, and the VRAM up from 202 MHz to 284 MHz. This should give us a pretty good boost in GPU performance, and if we rerun OpenMark here, we get a score of 6308, a boost of over 2,000 points, and the system is still completely stable. I fired up Halo CE here and played through the first few missions, and it ran without a hiccup. I'm sorry about how dark the screen looks here, these CRTs really are hard to video. There's no denying this is a really cool Mac. You just don't see computers designed like this anymore. My only complaint is that it's kind of hard to upgrade. The only thing Apple officially lets you change out is the RAM, which is done through this door here at the bottom, but if you want to replace the hard drive or the Wi-Fi card, you're going to have to open the whole thing up, discharge the CRT, etc., etc. I mean, it's doable, it's just a pain. I'm also not a huge fan of the placement of the power button, but all in all, these are minor complaints, and they don't deter me from calling this one of my favorite Macs I have ever owned. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave me a comment letting me know what you thought. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on the way out, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see what I make next. I'll see you guys next time.